Well, we've got a bit of a journey ahead of us. We're heading down to the Goulburn River, and we're on Bald Hill Road in Pakenham now. We're heading down to Blue Water Campers, and we're going to go pick up Darling. Don't tell my missus. Well, I'm here with Rob Harley. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well, matey. Yourself?
Yeah, good. We're at Blue Water Campers, and we're here to pick up Darling. Now,
Darling.
I said this before on camera, not to tell me missus, but it's not a person, it's a camper.
Absolutely.
And it's a great little camper.
Yeah, it's a little forward fold camper that you're going to take away with you.
Yep.
It's a great couples camper. You can always cater for some small children and that, but you know what? Fantastic little getaway camper.
Yeah. Well, normally it's the big kids that are going off to have the fun, but we've got one young one with us this weekend. Mate, we're heading up to Goulburn. Do we have to bring you back any fish?
No, you don't, mate. I've got plenty in the freezer. So you just take it, enjoy it, and give me some feedback at the end.
All right. You're going to go over it with me, mate, and we're just going to go over the ins and outs of the plugs and fittings and bits and pieces?
Absolutely, mate. I'll teach you all about it, so when you get away, you know exactly what you're doing.
Fantastic. All right, thanks for that, mate. We need to get up there and get this camper set up. Really looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Mate, pleasure, Mick. Let's hook you up and get you going, mate.
No worries, mate. Blue Water Campers. Off we go. Piles are on board, buddy, but what's your favourite?
I'm pretty keen to try out the jointed. They're pretty good for fish that are a little bit skittish.
All right, folks, you've heard that first. He wants to use the jointed lure. I actually wanted to use a jointed lure as well, so I'm glad we've got a couple. And we've got a few others we're going to try. Hey, Jess?
Yeah, we've got some countdowns, which are always a favourite in the deeper pools, and a couple of the originals, which have been going for donkeys. Always been a really productive lure.
You serious? Yeah. Good luck with that, mate.
I'm not sleeping anyway.
Someone bought their tent and didn't bring their fly.
Yeah, and I can tell you that's not TV tricks, that's nothing. I legitimately forgot it and...
Slept under the stars all night. We're lucky it was 35 degrees and it was a beautiful weekend.
Yeah. Well, I do think I drew the short straw because the trailer looks pretty awesome.
The Blue Water Camper is fantastic, mate. Mate, Breakaway Twin Rivers Caravan Park is where we're at. Right on the Goulburn River. And it doesn't get any better than this.
Just
going
waiting
for a flick.
Just waiting for the others to get ready. I thought I'd test the lure out off the bank.
Got a little salmon, mate. A little brownie.
A little bit impatient, so I chucked out a little Rapala jointed. And yeah, 2 casts straight onto a fish.
With the hands.
Mick might be right. It may even be a salmon, having a look at that tail. Got a big fork in it. It's usually a sign of salmon. And you can just see that Rapala J7 sticking out of his mouth. But not a trophy trout, but it's better than just testing the lure,
Not
I
bad
suppose.
for a first cast.
I think you might be right, Mick. I think it might be a salmon.
Yeah, I think it is, mate.
Just based on that tail. The big fork there. Especially these wild guides, you really want to keep the wild population going. Make sure they kick by themselves. And away he goes. one of the reasons we've came down to the Goulburn River was, unfortunately last year my father passed away. He was the one who taught me trout fishing and a lot of fishing in general, and he really loved this spot and really loved trout fishing. So when it happened and we got the sad news, I called Mick and said, look, we need to get down there. It's a spot me and my dad really wanted to go down to. Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to, but we wanted to do a little episode down here in Goulburn River and dedicate it to his legacy, because trout fishing was his thing. He loved it. Always wanted to go out and go for trout. So hopefully we get a few and make him proud up there. And just remember that fishing memories are some of the best memories you'll ever have. So always work for him and enjoy it while you're at it.
Got my brand new waders and I've forgotten my socks. So Jesse's already out there having a flick, of course. Now I've got to get my big belly into these waders. I've got the right foot and the right foot, so that's a good start. Let me just hook this up. This could take a while, folks. Tell you what, it looks pretty good. We're on our first night here. The sun's going down. There's bugs on the water and it is looking absolutely fantastic. Oh, he's on! Now I've been known to go A over T straight in the water. It's been known to happen once or twice, 3 or 4 times even. Alrighty, there's this lure, guys. It's a Rapala lure. It's a fantastic looking lure. Let's just hope the fish think the same thing.
Sort of fishing mix, something we call prospecting. Now, obviously prospecting is another word for finding things.
Yes.
Before we can catch the fish, we got to find them.
We do have to find them, mate, and I reckon they're in the water somewhere.
They're in the water somewhere.
Well, this is your specialty, mate. This is not fishing for squid out in Western Port.
No, it isn't.
This is definitely your specialty. So, now, mate, I've heard you talk a lot about bubble trails, right? Now, is that going to be the same thing with water currents through a river this big?
Similar, and rivers like this will have bubble trails.
Yep.
Basically, a bubble trail forms when you've got water hitting a rock or tumbling down a waterfall. You usually always find a trout at the end of the bubble trail. If you don't, it's probably because someone's already caught it, but that doesn't mean another one won't take its place.
Oh, here we go.
He's on.
He's on, all right. There we go. Whoa, jumping out of the water. Gotta love that. I might need your assistance with a net here, buddy. Right on sunset. 3rd cast in. Oh, this is great. He's a little rainbow.
It's a nice fish, Mick.
Yeah, little wild rainbow, mate.
What was that one on, Mick?
One of the BX range of Rapalas, mate.
Rapala BX minnow.
That's the one.
I did say they'd do well here.
You did.
Rapala never really failed to make a good lure.
Hang on a second, mate.
Can I hold your fish there, Mick?
I do. Let me just tack me rod away here. Now I'll just wet my hands again. Geez, they're a beautiful fish. They're lovely. The wild fish. Now this is one of the wild ones.
Yeah. They get these white lines on them. Now not all wild fish have this. It really depends on the time of year.
Fantastic, aren't they?
But they really colour up really nicely this time of year. I personally like the browns the most, the colours that the browns get.
Yeah.
But rainbows when they get these white fins and the bright pink. And beautiful eating if you want to, but neither of us are really big trout people.
No, we're not, mate. And I'm quite happy to let him swim off, mate. That's all part of it. Now, it really amazes me. Such a smaller size fish hits so hard.
They do.
I mean, they've got to have a pretty good muscle strength to swim through these rivers. So
they're built like torpedoes.
Yeah.
You find the wild ones fight harder because they're constantly using their muscles to stay in the water, stay where they need to be.
Chili, he's good to go. Mate. Off you go. That was absolutely fantastic. All right, let's keep going, mate. It's only early into it too.
We're 10 metres from where we're camping.
That's fantastic.
Already caught 3 fish.
That's great. Oh, come on. Oh, hey. He's a little guy, but he's cool. Geez, they hit hard. That's a little brown. Back you go, mate. Good effort, buddy. Whoop, and back he goes. I thought I'd just fish around where I could see the bugs hitting the water. Figured that's where the fish are going to be. They know where the food is.
Alright guys, just a little bit of a talk today about choosing hard-body lures. Before, when lures was one piece, you had a lure moving off of one bib. Now you've got a second joint, which is joined by two rings, and those will counteract, so almost like a snake movement. It gives the lure a much more aggressive flowing motion, and it can be really good to annoy the fish that aren't so much hungry and wanting an aggression bite, or even just to stand out. For the fish that are looking for anything, they'll notice this really quickly. It's got a strong, powerful swim to it. It'll swim down to about 6 feet, but you can swim it 1 through to 3 feet if you use your rod correctly. This one is a J5, so it's a 5 centimeter jointed. You can get up to 9 centimeters. I can strongly recommend the bigger ones for those big browns and rainbows. All right, next up we have the BX Minnow. Now the first thing you notice when you look at this guy, if you're choosing your lure, is that it's got a square bib. It's quite small and doesn't have a super strong angle. That tells us this lure is going to have more of a shimmy to it. It's not going to dive quite as deep, but it's not going to be quite as an aggressive action. That means this is fantastic for 2 to 4 foot water. It's very good for fish that respond well to flashing, because them inserts there as it shimmies, they're going to catch the light, and this will flash just like a spinner. And for trout in particular, and even redfin, that can be a really good feature to have. Definitely keep an eye out for these ones. Now the BX Minnow is an excellent all-rounder lure. Strongly recommend it. Now this is only a couple of lures. If you go into a store and look at Rapala, they have hundreds to choose from. But whenever you are looking for Rapalas, just pay attention to the information on the box. If there's any more information you need, you'll find it all there. Always look at the depth, the size and the weight. That's going to counter in with casting as well. Line that up with the body of water that you're going to be fishing, and you should be able to make some good choices. I hope that helps. Next time you get out on the water and flick a few hard bodies, make sure you choose good ones. Always the same set. See how you go.
Jesse, it's the last day, mate.
Yeah, it's the last day down here at Breakaway Twin Rivers.
It is, mate, right on the Goulburn River. Yep.
That's it.
And look at the day, isn't it fantastic?
It's awesome. It's always the nicest day on the last day.
Yeah, but it's the saddest day. All the campsites are packing up, they're leaving. Our stay here's been really good. We had the Blue Water camper, with the sort of off-grid style camper, and I tell you what a great camper.
It's awesome. I mean, I've been in the tent, but you guys haven't had to plug in at all, so I've just been stinging off all your stuff.
We did. We're actually on a powered site, didn't use the power once. We had a solar panel and it charged and powered everything, all the phones, all the lights, even the fridge, so for 3 days.
And
it's still powered. Yes, we did, and we did a lot of cooking. Now, we came down here to achieve one thing, and that was to catch a wild trout, mate.
Yeah, we wanted some wild fish. I called you up a little while ago and said, you know, we wanted to do something for my dad who passed away.
Yep.
He loved his wild trout fishing.
Yep.
I said, we got to get down to the Goulburn. It's one of his favourite spots. We got down here and hopefully we made him proud. I think we did all right.
I think we did, mate, and no better place to be. So, while the rest of that's getting packed up, why don't we head out for another quick
Get away from the thing.
definitely one of the 7 tonne of stock trout, and I reckon this is 6 tonne of them. Have a look at that. So it looks like there is a few still floating around. It's been a few months since the fisheries release these into the waterways.
Yeah, that's it's an 8-pound rainbow or more.
This is amazing.
Now with
That's got some weight to them.
yeah, with your trout.
I'm a big boy, and look how I'm holding it.
Now with your trout, they don't release very well.
We'll still try.
Yeah, we'll definitely be releasing, but one tip is to never put them on scales. You might really want to know what they weigh.
No, I'm happy. I don't want to. I wouldn't mind the side. No,
Chuck them on a brag mat.
This is a very
and
fat
there's actually
fish.
some places you can go to where you can get a really good estimate of the weight just on the length. So we're at
65.
60 centimetres or 55 to 60. You're normally looking about a 4-pound fish. Now trout, once they get to about 65, they tend to get wide.
That's just over 65.
We got a 65 centimetre fat fish. I'd say 8-pound, Mick.
All right, a lot of people, and you're welcome to keep these, but this is too big a beautiful fish to let it swim on for the next couple of years that it's got to live. That nice cold water going through the gills, mate.
That's the way. Now you don't want her to go until you pretty much can't hold on to her anymore.
I know. Come on, girl. I'd love to see you swim away and not end up someone's smoked steaks in their smoker. What a fish!
Lucky last day.
Oh, it's the last day, last cast. We'll make
Sheila.
sure she's got it.
Give her a kick. Catch her breath.
There she goes. Hey, come on, girl. The gills are pumping, that's good. The fins are starting to move. Tail's starting to wag, hey? Just like my German Shepherd, waggity waggity. Oh, that's beautiful. There she goes. That is absolutely sensational.
Change your mind about trout fishing, Mick?
You know I love it. I just like to tease you about it. Well, Jess.
I was just on the phone. I booked us another 2 days up here. Golden question, Mick. What was the lure of choice?
Rapala BX Minnow, mate, and that's pretty much what I started the journey with when we came down here for the first day.
There's 2 lures that have caught fish this weekend, except for one on the Blue Fox, and that was the BX Minnow and the Rapala jointed.
I'll tell you what, they cast really far. Like that's why, because I'm trying to get over to that back channel, and these for a light lure, they actually go quite far.
They're awesome. They got a good dive depth and a good bit of shimmer.
Yeah,
and
3 foot,
wild
I believe.
ones. Wild ones and stockies both love a bit of flash, so a good choice for all-round trout fishing. Perfect imitation of a little minnow, that one.
It is. That's what I liked about it. It looks like a little galaxiid or just like a little bait fish that, you know. It also looks like a little mullet. I'd love to try that on some brim or mulloway.
We've got to check out in about half an hour, so let's see if we can get
another last cast.
another last cast.
Get out there, Jesse. I know you're hanging.
Might have been a strong.
Oh, here we go.
I'm biting a big trout on 4-pound leader. Hang on. Yep. Oh, hang on. Yep! Hey! Number 2. I tell you what, I don't think I'm changing from Rapalas for a while. If you want a testament to good leader, I'm running Black Magic 4-pound, and that held up. I had to give her hell as well in the current, had to get her in out of the fast water, and you need a good leader for that. Well, Mick. Yes, mate. 2 big fish in 10 minutes.
I know. Last day, unreal.
It's the last, literally. It's...
These now everyone, like when they first released these, I saw a lot of reports of these fish getting caught.
Yeah.
We have worked very hard for 3 days and we saw 1.
Yeah, it's they only released them a couple months ago.
It was about just over 3 months ago.
Yeah, so a lot of them got caught and a lot of them got smart. So they got a little bit harder to hit.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of fishermen down here. We saw one guy catch one yesterday, and we've just been lucky enough to get 2 today.
Have a look at her. It's another nice trout. Probably looking around 6 pound for this one, maybe 6.5.
Yeah, I'll get a photo.
Not quite as chunky as the one that Mick got, but
Still a good fish.
a good fight and a good fish to catch.
Hold up, let me give me some colours, mate. Sorry, some photos for Facebook people. So 64 centimetres.
64 on the Ozfish brag mat. She made it to the SH. He's a lovely looking fish, but it's nice to look at them and it's easier to hold on to them and keep enjoying them. Whoop.
Or while it's got a bit of kick, we can try and let it go.
But you got to get them back in the water as quick as you can. Kind of kicks.
Mouth staying open.
Now, unfortunately, with some of these stock trout, they can not make it after a big fight. It's best to try and land them as quickly as possible, which this fish was landed pretty quickly, but sometimes they just don't make it because they're not built for the rivers. If you have a trout and you know it's not going to release, and you can be sure that it's not going to swim away, don't try and swim it, because once you do, you'll probably see it 20 metres out floating downstream, and then by then there's nothing you can do and it's a waste of a life. So the best thing to do is put them out of their misery humanely, just with a blow to the head, and then cook them, smoke them, use them for something, but just don't let them go to waste.